In our prior videos, we had described you how to make a 3D model and how to analyze a 3D model. But in the case of a competition, that's a tremor, you'll have to make a 3D model. Plus, you will have to introduce some slabs at each and every flow. So I'll show you how to make that slabs in this video. And so for that, first of all, you'll go to File, then you will go to New Model. Now you will keep the units as kilonewton meter and you will go to 3D frame. Here you will choose the option beam slab building. Okay, now so for just again for simplicity, we'll change the number of storage to 2. Then we'll change the number of bays to 1 for the x direction and the same for the y direction. We'll also change the number of divisions as 1 for x and number of divisions for y will also change to 1. So now we'll do OK. So this model will appear on your screen. So if you just click somewhere in between, okay, yeah, this way. So you can see this dotted line at all the 4 edges. So this represents your slab. See, on each floor you have one slab. Alright. So this is what you need to do extra. I mean, actually you need to build a model in this fashion, that you have to choose the beam slab building option in the 3D frame. Right. Now, what extra you need to do is you need to go and define, then section properties. Okay, first you need to define the material again one more time. You go to define material, do add new material. The same fashion, we'll write down timber, and in material type you will do other. You can change the density, modulus of elasticity and all the stuff. This all will be available on the website, that what is the Young's modulus, the shear modulus, etc. We'll do OK. Okay. Then you will go to define. You'll go to section properties. Go to area sections. You'll keep it as shell. You'll do add new section. You can change the section name. Just for example, say A1. We'll do the material as timber. We'll do it OK. We'll do OK. Now you will select this 2 slabs. You'll go to assign, go to area, go to sections, you'll click on A1 and you'll do OK. So now both of these sections are according to your well, now they both are A1. Okay. Now in one of the videos I also showed you how to define the cross section of all the other members that are acting as the column and the beam in this case. So if in that we chose the option of concrete, but suppose if you want to build your own section, then what you can do is you can go to define, then you can go to section properties, you can go to frame sections. Here you will do add new property, then here you will go to other, then you will go to section designer. Here you can name your section, just for example say S1. You will keep the base material as timber, then you will go to section designer. Then this window will open up. Just for example, if you want to have a rectangular or a square cross section, then you can click on this option. There's a draw solid shape, it's appearing on the screen. You can click here. So just choose this, suppose say you choose the first one. and I just put the point on the center. It will build me a section in this fashion. This is a square cross section. I just do a right click on this. The name can be changed. Say again, if I want to give it as S1. Then the material is timber. Now the height and width are the dimensions. You can change them according to your requirement. They can be modified, and just convert it to OK, and just go done, and then you do again OK, and so you have one model, your own frame section defined. Now you're done OK. Now what you can do is just do Control A. You can select all the whole structure, and then deselect the slabs, and then you can go to Assign Frames and go on Frame section, and then you can select S1 and you will do OK. So in this video we have showed you how to define a cross section of the individual members of the frame, and how to define a slab, and how to define the section of the slab. And also one more thing, what you can do is you can change this end connections, if you want to change it, then what you should do is you should do a left click onto this on any joint. Say I clicked it this way, sorry, not this, you can just click it on this. You can give a left click, and you can go to Assign and go to Joint, go to Joint Restraints, and suppose here you have four options, that whether you want the rotation to be restrained or the translation to be restrained. Just for example, in a column based connection, what you will be doing in the competition, it will be most probably a fixed joint, so where the rotation and translation everything is fixed. So you can just do it. Okay, now you can see this joint which you had selected selected initially has now been converted to fixed joint. Alright, okay. Now when you will calculate the base shear in your calculation, and when you will apply the shear force which is coming on individual floors, what happens is that the force should be ideally applied to the center of gravity of the slab. But in this case it will be almost very tough, or it will be almost impossible to apply that at the center of gravity of the slab. So what's a better solution to that is, you create the slab as a single solid unit, so that the whole slab moves in the same direction at the same time. So for that you need to solidify the whole slab. So what you will do is, you will select all the four joints of the slab. Suppose say if I select this slab, then what you will do is you will select all these four joints. Sorry, you will select this joint, select this joint, this and this. Now you will go to Assign, you will go to Joint, you will go to Constraints, then here you will do Diaphragm, then you will do Add New Constraint. Here what you can do is, you can choose the axis according to your convenience. I mean the direction in which you are applying the shear. Suppose if you are applying it along the y direction, then you can choose it as y axis, or if you are applying the shear force in the x direction, then you can keep it as x axis. Okay, so it will move as a single unit in the x axis. So for example, I am keeping it to be x axis, and even there is an option of auto. I mean, then in auto what it will do is, it will select on its own on which direction you are applying the shear force. It will make it move as a single unit in that direction. So you can suppose say if you apply the force in the x direction, so just keep it as x axis. Do OK, do OK. So these 4 points will now move as a single unit when it gets deformed due to any shear force. The same thing has to be done for the rest of these 4 joints also. So okay, remember one thing, that you need to do this individually to all slabs I mean this, for this 4 you need to select this 4 and apply the constraint, and then after applying it you need to select this 4 again and you need to follow the same procedure. Okay, that's it. Thank you.